Alright, so bit of rain going on outside, so I'm kind of hoping I can get through this without so much trouble. The reason I am doing this right now, probably can tell from the title, but yeah, I'm talking more about the Pokemon stuff, because that's all that I see a lot of people on YouTube talking about. Just about stuff going on with Pokemon Power World still, stuff about Z-A being a mistake, that a lot of things are going to be bad about it, that it's still going downhill and everything. Let me point out, first of all, I am not trying to, how to say, I'm not trying to downplay Z-A. It looks like a good game. It looks kind of nice and everything. I like the whole entire character customization thing. Just, it honestly sucks. So to get some of the obvious points out of the way first, just because, like I said, they're obvious. Um, One of the reasons I don't like ZA is because with all the stuff going on, including how much money they're spending into this lawsuit with Power World, they could have actually have done voice work for this game. I've never had a problem with it. There are all the times that I've played a lot of the Pokemon games from the original Red and Blue, the original Pokemon Red and Blue and everything, all the way down to even Scarlet and Violet, which I ended up playing. I didn't mind it. And yeah, during the earlier times, of course, there was no voice acting and everything. There was no voice acting for any of the games that came onto a lot of the Game Boy games or the Game Boy Advance, all that kind of stuff. The handhelds had never had any kind of voice acting to it. And I think even the Coliseum games or the Pokemon Coliseum DX, none of those had any dialogue either. I even didn't mind it when it was all about the God, my mind goes into a blank every now and then. I didn't even and then tongue twisters like that. I didn't even mind it when the Pokemon Ranger games didn't even have dialogue, even though they were the funniest. Some of them had the funniest dialogues out there. Yeah, it was just I don't know. I just didn't mind it not having any kind of dialogue to it, even though there were multiple times where it never said who was talking. It was just somebody was talking. So you gotta figure out who. Not too much of a problem if you read books. That kind of thing happens as well. It's one of those things where you kind of read through it twice to see who's talking when. Uh, so I never really minded it so much for the longest time. But yeah, no, with Legends Arceus as well as ZA, those are games where the cinematic for it looks amazing. It looks spectacular. Why do you not have why do you not have people coming in and trying to do some voice acting for it? Instead, the intense moments just get a little drowned out by some background music that's happening. And then what? Like, if there's no dialogue for a lot of even the most intense moments where you feel like the character is in a bind or something, so you are in a bind, there's no dialogue to convey any of that. It just kind of looks dumb, honestly. It looks so bad. Um, one of the I can't believe I even have to say this because Jesus Christ, Game Freak just really screwed up with this. But the other thing that I really didn't like when I saw it for this game was the fact that apparently you go from rank V to F automatically after beating the battle. Like, I didn't look too much into it, so I don't know exactly what's going on. But if the whole entire thing is just the fact that, oh, you just go straight from V to F after you win the ranking match, it's like, why? Where? First of all, where is the fun in that? Where is the fun in the fact that you have to actually try in this game? You literally made it Z or Z to A. If you're not even gonna try with the actual function for the game, it's just not gonna be interesting. Pokemon has always been a game where you have to really try and sometimes even grind to get something good. But you're doing if you're doing this, no, I'm sorry, it's not a good mechanic. Like it makes the game longer if they have to fight for that position. But no, you're just skipping them so far up the ladder. I I completely like when I was thinking about it earlier, when I got up, I was thinking like, okay, I'm seeing all these tweets and everything. Maybe there's something to it. Maybe it's the fact that, uh maybe some people are taking advantage of some kind of like cheat in the system where you just accumulate so many points and everything through a lot of these night battles before you go into the ranking tournament at the very end. So maybe they're accumulating all these points, maybe they're doing all these things, and then they're finally exchanging those points in for tickets to where like they automatically zoom from V to F. If that was it, fair. You beat the system by actually playing the game and everything, by actually grinding and all that. I can't be mad at that. I really can't. Like, if you do something like that, it's not so much of the game's fault, it's more of our own fault for taking in that cheat of a system and actually doing it like that. Obviously, I would like it if that kind of thing wasn't true. I would like it if that kind of thing wasn't the thing people were doing. And I found out I was right. So I was out and about earlier today. I, I went out. I watched some videos on my phone, trying to stay away from the house and everything. Just get away from the family. Just there are days when you just gotta not be around the family to just enjoy yourself. And that's all I did. I went out and I was watching some YouTube videos. After a certain point, I got kind of bored in just watching regular videos. So I went and just doom scrolled through the shorts because that's what I do a lot of times. I don't know why I do it, and sometimes it will be hours before I realize I'm just circling uh those weird text to speech kind of stories in there. But uh oh yeah. So while I was doom scrolling through all of that, I came across a short about this one guy who often does shorts where he's kind of acting out two different people, both a father and a son. And in this video, he he starts out acting like the father and talks to his son and everything. And then when he brings up the fact that he's rank F in the tournament, the son character points out, "Oh hey, so you're almost a F then." And even I looked at that video for a moment. I was like, "Wait, are the jokes not? Is what I'm seeing online not really like jokes or just like ways to cheat the system? Is that actually real?" And yeah, even then, like him playing as a father character, he pointed out like that's not how the alphabet works. That there's like multiple letters between F and V, and there would be no way to automatically get between the two without having to fight all those rankings. But no, apparently what he says in the video is that it just happens. Like after you defeat the person in rank V, that you have to, like you've been doing for the Eternal Z, or whatever his name is. I can't. I'm good with French when I'm reading it, not so much when I'm trying to remember what it said. I know it was the Eternal Z, but I can't remember the exact wording. But yeah, so the entire fact that somebody is doing that the company purposely put in the fact that you go from V to F with very little to no work at all. When it's like there are so many letters in between, you can literally do pieces of the story in there. Some of them can even be like Oh, okay, you're at rank H. Oh, okay, now we gotta have you go and fight this mega Pokemon that is special to ZA that has never been seen before. It's kind of like, okay, you gotta solve this mystery while you're doing the rankings during the night. During the day, you gotta solve investigations and such. And the more rankings you go up, the more places you can go to, and the more cases you have to solve. No, just no. I guess that's all for after you win the tournaments. All the post-game stuff. Like I get it. Hmm, I really get it. With Pokemon, a lot of the end game stuff is mostly just you trying to build up a more powerful team and then just going back through the game a second time, trying to really challenge yourself with a few different things. You know, with most people, with the actual generation games, a lot of people will take that time, build up a unique kind of team, and then take on the Elite Four a second time, a third time, a 16th time, however many times it takes. Uh, no, I don't see a thrill in it with ZA. Like ZA, it doesn't even have the Elite Four kind of thing going for it because it's a Legends game. The Legends games are your typical side story game where it doesn't take the same track as the normal main story games. It's just kind of like special rules, I guess. I have no idea how to describe it. This is only like the second title in ZA, and yes, Arceus was amazing. I played Arceus. It was a whole lot of fun, and Jesus Christ, did I enjoy actually playing that. This, I'm only watching people play it. And I'll admit, I'm only watching mostly M&J TV play. I'm only watching Michael play. And you know, it's something, I guess. I don't know how to explain it too well. It's irritating in a sense of how it seems it plays. And you know, again, the customization, fun, that's nice. That's something that anybody would like to see and all that. It's just mostly the fact that um, first of all, the customization is locked behind some stores, which you can't freely get to nearing the beginning. At the very least, with something with Gala, or even I should probably say with Sword and Shield, as well as Scarlet and Violet, you pretty much got to do all that kind of stuff before you even started the journey, before you ever started actually doing Pokemon battles. And you know what? That was kind of the fun thing, because I was like, it's like even though you aren't able to get anything, you're still given the option of going and doing it. But here, it's like you don't even get a choice. And by what I even saw from Mikey's videos, is the fact that they don't even show you the prices for the outfits unless you're just like hovering over the store outside. Like you only see the prices then, or probably like after you buy them, you'll see how much is coming out or whether or not you'll be able to get it. And you know that makes it so much worse. The reason that feels so much worse to me is because when you look for a specific item, you want to know how much it costs. And then you're going to want to grind through that amount. If you don't know how much it costs, or it's not telling you directly how much it is, you don't know what to do. You're just going to keep going from battle to battle to battle until you think you have enough. And then, you know, you do or don't get it. And somebody like me, you know, I like to go around. I like to see what kind of stuff they have all over. I'll probably be in the default outfit for like, well, maybe 45% of the game. Once I find all the shops, once I see all the items, I know what I want, then I'm gonna try and go get it. Problem with that is that I'm not sure how long. it will take to find all the shops in this game, because most of them are probably going to be locked behind ranking walls. Others, who knows, they might be locked behind special zones that you have to also rank up to get into, or do you have to know a certain Pokemon move to try and get past? Oh, I felt nasty. But at the very least, I will say one thing that I kind of enjoy seeing in this new game is the fact that you can go and you can customize the moves of the Pokemon without having to go and find like a move reminder or something, like how in some of the other games were. Like, that's fun. I don't have to go and find somebody and pay them hundreds of Poké dollars just to try and remember a move that I may not have even wanted at that time, or something that I might have accidentally gotten rid of because I needed a TM move. Yeah, it's great. I can just switch and do what I want with that. You know, the only issue I see with that, mhm, I'm pretty sure they got that from somewhere else. And I don't know if that was in Arceus. I don't remember because during Arceus, that was like the first Legends game there was. So during that time, I didn't see if there was any kind of way to forget to remember a forgotten move. I can try and check it up here real quick. Just give me a moment. Okay, so I just looked it up, and yeah, so Arceus did have a thing to where you can remember moves, even though they're no longer in the four move pool. So there's at least that. It at least kept that from Arceus and everything. But still, just the fact that, you know, it was so long ago, everything I didn't remember. Uh, yeah, I was gonna make a point on how that's one thing they probably took from Power World and everything. But I feel like a lot of other stuff is I feel like a lot of other stuff is kind of just going downhill, and that's not even one of the patents that Pokemon tried to file for and everything. But I also wanted to. I feel like it's a little late to make this point, but I also wanted to make the point that right now, what a lot of the stuff that I'm hating on when it comes to the game has to do with only the game. It has to do with only the game, the decisions the company itself is making, and that's it. All right, I'm I may be a Pokemon fan myself to the point to where, hey, I own like a lot of Pokemon stuff, even two types of Pokemon Go. How do I say? Those little balls, the Pokeball that came out with the Let's Go Pikachu, Let's Go Eevee, as well as the Pokemon, the Pokeball Go Plus Plus, whatever the hell it's technically supposed to be called. The thing that a lot of people mainly got because of Pokemon Sleep. And, that's why I am genuinely hating on the game itself because it can be so much better. The company could have made something so much better than what it is now if they had actually tried. But instead they wanted to do the marketing. You know, just spend millions of dollars getting actual names up there with their Pokemon stuff. Yeah, they're thinking they're thinking with their company brains, not so much the brains of gamers. Which, yes, it's cool to see all these actual named people, these actresses, these actors, models, and everything. It's cool to see them actually like even play or even advertise these games and everything that we love. But it's the fact that we don't really need that. if you're a gamer, you enjoy the fact that there's like good games coming out. Which for Pokemon, it hasn't been. It's been a while. Like even when it came to Scarlet and Violet, I played mainly the base game because that's all I had an interest in. After the base game, the DLCs and all that kind of stuff, honestly, no, not really. Those are on the very back of my mind. I barely even paid attention to those. I mean, I was thinking about getting them, but other games for Steam came up, so I kind of just mainly spent money on that. And I watched another guy who mainly talks about Z-A and everything, and for some odd reason, not even I know, nobody, not even the people that actually watch him know, but somebody accused him of saying that ZA was gonna like flatline or something, that it was gonna be dead in the waters. Just however you want to interpret that wording, they thought that he meant like, oh, this game is gonna be dead and done. No, nobody, none of us, everybody who is a Pokemon fan, who actually has a lot of like merchandise and everything from Pokemon, all of us can easily tell you, just because of a few hateful words, just because a lot of people say they don't like the game, it doesn't mean that the game is just gonna up and die. Like all of us know that all of us know that at the very least there's gonna be what, probably thousands, millions of copies that are gonna be sold. I watched his video earlier. I don't exactly remember what he said was in all that, but yeah, there were so many copies sold that honestly was a given. Pokemon is technically not dead. All right, a lot of people still enjoy the franchise, but a lot of people like me, a lot of people here on YouTube, if you find a video on YouTube that talks about a person hating Pokemon, guarantee you they are not hating Pokemon for Pokemon itself. They would not be talking about it otherwise. They are hating Pokemon because of the company, because of what a lot of those people are thinking, because they're mainly seeing it as numbers. They're not seeing it as a product to push out to people who want to play the games. They're pushing it out because they know somebody is going to buy it. And seeing the numbers go up, yeah, yeah, of course people are going to buy it. You know, some of us are going to be here standing our ground, not buying anything, seeing what comes next, if anything does come next, because they're going to make another Pokemon game. Just whether or not it incorporates anything that we've said here, it it's all up to them. And that's somewhat the sad part. The fact that I'm pretty sure a lot of people have been saying these things since what, maybe Sword and Shield? Because Sword and Shield did have quite a few moments to it. Hell, there's even I cannot remember a person's name when I need to the most. Uh Marnie's brother, when he was doing his little rock concert and everything in the town that they were in, it, there was like very little music and no sound from him, and that made the whole entire thing feel very awkward. I'm pretty sure there was barely even any sound coming out. There's barely even any music going on with all that. So yeah, that made the whole entire thing feel like really weird and just kind of forced, honestly. But you know, Pokemon is making millions of dollars, and honestly, the guy that I saw today that I've already mentioned had some backlash and everything because somebody misinterpreted what he was saying. One of the things that he said was that people are still going to be buying the merch, people are still going to be buying all this Pokemon stuff, and sure, you can blame the fact that a lot of people like me are going out there and buying a lot of this Pokemon stuff. Like I said, tomorrow, or not tomorrow, technically, after I post this video on YouTube, I'm gonna be posting on TikTok uh, the very, very adequate collection of Pokemon stuff that I have. Because the way I see it, these companies are gonna look at the fact that people are buying more of the plushes, the figures, all of these random stuff. But if they see but if they see the numbers for the video games going down, yeah, they're gonna soon come to realize people aren't that interested in the games anymore. Then they're gonna have to make some changes because a lot of people, even right now, are getting more hyped up about the animated stuff that's going on with that other Pokemon uh, bit. I have no idea what to say. The short that's on Twitch, or not Twitch, the short that's on Twitter right now, where it's basically a guy who once did a lot of Pokemon battles and everything with his Gardevoir, and retired from that life, and now mainly does delivery. Honestly, that short is fantastic. Anytime I get on Twitter, I kind of look for it because it just looks that good. Uh, but yeah, not only that, it's the fact that people seeing that, it's fantastic. It's really good. It's really nicely animated and everything. And, that's something people want to see. But thing about that is, I'm not sure if I'm right on this. Even if I'm not right, you know, kind of whatever at this point. But I'm pretty sure even that thing doesn't have sound, doesn't have the characters saying anything. But when it comes to the animation like that, it actually doesn't need to. In my opinion, videos like that, where you can get by well enough without somebody talking, with somebody just simply playing a little bit of soft tone music in the background, it works out fine. Like, yeah, that's what a lot of us are used to. The only issue is that if you make it a complete series or make it into a video game, because you put that into if you don't do any kind of sound or anything in a video game, again, the cinematic parts are just gonna fall flat. The at the beginning, the only part of the cinematics that actually made anything, besides just the head of the corporation coming out and then talking about Pokemon and everything, like you would normally see from a professor in the game. The only thing that made a huge impact was just seeing the Floette. Um, God, I almost forgot his name, and his name is only two. Is seeing AZ's Floette come out and shoot that giant beam into the sky. Like that, that was kind of powerful and awesome, but just no sound, and the three challengers just kind of running away the way they did. I'm sorry, it doesn't make it feel all that impactful. It doesn't make it feel all that grand. But people are playing the game because they enjoy Pokemon. Hell, I thought about getting the game myself, but again, I don't want to kind of give my money to just this specific part of the franchise anymore. At this point, I'm more or less done with Pokemon. Unless I see some actual change in the game, at best, I'm just gonna live vicariously through a lot of the other people, through MNJTV, through some VTubers that I've seen on Twitter, just making comments about it. I'm just gonna watch the whole entire thing through them. Like, do I want to play the game? Yes, I still play Pokemon Fusion to this day. Do I want to get in there and make my character into the best looking ghost and dark type trainer? I'd love that. If there if there's a combination for an outfit that actually fits the kind of look I'm going for, yeah, I'd definitely pick it. But honestly, just the company being the way it is right now, no, just They're spending so much money in all the wrong places, by the way it seems, and doesn't even feel like it doesn't even feel like the Pokemon games are turning out special anymore. Like a lot of it is just mostly in the merchandising these days. And I understand a lot of people are going to be hating that by saying, "Oh, you're hating on Pokemon Company because that stupid voiceover thing. Oh, well, why is it so bad? It's been a thing with Pokemon all these years and all." Yes, first of all, shut the hell up. Shut the hell up because Digimon has that kind of thing. Power World, it doesn't have it, but that was only done by 5 people, barely learning how to even do games. And Pokemon Company has millions of dollars that they spent to get actual actresses and models to actually promote the games. Now, you look at most indie games, you can find a handful of them that are fully voiced and everything. Like, yeah, there are going to be some moments where there's probably no voice acting at all, but the large majority of the story does have voice acting. If Pokemon can't do anything like that, like, really? Uh, Everything they could have done. No, because I understand if it was with the mystery dungeons, because mystery dungeons is mostly just the Pokemon, and okay, sure, you don't want the Pokemon to talk. You want it to just keep doing the sounds they've been doing throughout the years. That's fine. I don't see anything wrong with that. But this is an actual part of the franchise. Like it's not directly Pokemon, but it is with the humans actually doing battles and such. Even with the Legends Arceus, you could have still done it with having the person who voiced Dawn from the animes doing Dawn in all of this. I don't know if her voice actress is doing anything right now or what's going on with that, but yeah, if she's free and she's willing to do it, fucking fucking let her do it. Pay her to actually be on here again because you had all these great characters and all these nice voice actresses and voice actors during the times that y'all were doing the animes. Y'all couldn't have brought them in over to the games, like not even once. Because once it came out to like the characters being more 3D, you could have actually had voice acting and it would have been so much better. Uh, I don't know. I'm yawning because of all the rain going on right now, and I think I'm just getting myself a little worked up. So yeah, uh, tomorrow or once I post this on YouTube and everything, I'm also gonna post the images of the Pokemon collection that I have to show that I am a Pokemon fan. I just can't support the games anymore. Just so that people don't look at me and just go off on how, oh, you're not an actual Pokemon fan. Oh, you hate the games for, I don't know, some stupid reason. Somebody will always come up with some stupid reason to hate Pokemon. But yeah, just I can't support the games anymore. Both the way this game is going and the fact that the money is getting spent on fighting against Power World instead of trying to make their games even rival Digimon at this point. Honestly, it's just kind of sad. They don't have their priorities straight when it comes to this kind of stuff. Like, they did such a great job when it came to advertising the Switch 2. Because they had the old actor who did the 90s version of the I think it was the NES. But anyway, they did a good job with that. And even Sega came by and tried to give a little jab to the side when they were making this. When they were doing the whole entire Sonic Cross World thing versus Mario Kart World, like, they did a fun little jab from back in the day. But now, for some reason, the Pokemon Company, along with Nintendo, think that it's better to fight Power World, a company that's just barely growing, that's, you know, is its own thing, not some kind of way to jab at Nintendo or Pokemon or anything. No, they're doing their own thing. And the Pokemon Company decided to fight them for some reason. And they still have millions. They still have so much money to try and actually make a really good game and actually input a lot of these ideas and a lot of these creativeness into the game. No, they're just gonna keep it the same. I'm guessing after the flop, there was Brilliant Diamond, and Shining Pearl. I guess they just thought, okay, let's go ahead and keep it like this, because apparently people don't want something new. They want the same old stuff. Like, no, the game was just bad for different reasons, but now it's like y'all don't even care. Anyways, that will be my two take. So until next time, I'll see you all later.